Hello and welcome back to part 2 of my office makeover. Just a little recap on what I did last time. I put this peel and stick wallpaper up on the top section of this wall and it was very easy to do. And then I painted the bottom section in this lovely green to pick out some of the colours in the wallpaper. And then to finish it off, I added some moulding, just a little strip along the top in between the wallpaper and the paint. And then I added curtains and started putting things on the walls to decorate. And then I got rid of the very yellow veneer on this IKEA desk with some peel and stick vinyl to make it look more in keeping with the room. Hello, well, I'm gonna let you into a little behind the scenes because I haven't actually been in this room doing stuff on it for quite a while. So the last clip that you've just seen was probably a decent amount of time ago. I started this room in February of this year and it is now just turned November. So yeah, I've had a break and now I am back and I want to just finish it and just finally be done with it. So my next kind of thing that I need to tackle is the IKEA unit. I'll show you and then what I'm thinking of doing to it. So I think partly what was kind of holding me back was that this room was just an absolute state again and had become a dumping ground once more. So I did a big tidy up on it the other day and then now I can actually get to this unit. It's not going to be particularly extreme. I think I was thinking originally that I was going to try and do moulding on, you know, all the drawers and doors and stuff, which would look lovely, but I don't know. I don't want to pay for more moulding. Like the stuff that I've got left over is, there's not enough for doing that. I don't really want to have to go and buy anything more. I've already got like handles that I can replace these ones with. And then I'm obviously going to paint it. Probably my old fave, Stone Rosy from Frenchic, because I think I've got a decent amount of that left over. But I'm going to need to obviously prime it first because this is not like ideal for painting over. And then I think what I'm going to try and do is make a little counter skirt to go along here, maybe with 2 sections of curtains so I can like pull it across on either end to get to this stuff because it's not very aesthetically pleasing having these bits on display. I'm sure you'll agree. To start with, I primed the surface with my favourite all-purpose primer from Coat. Obviously cleaned it beforehand and I sanded away any bits that looked uneven just so it had a good surface to apply the primer before then going on to paint it. I used my favourite again colour from Frenchic, which is called Stone Rosy. You've probably seen me use it a lot of times on this channel and it's just a lovely beige colour. Next step is to do a top coat of this, which is really good and really durable. I've used it pretty much on every other upcycled piece that I've worked on. And it is matte. It gives it a slight sheen, but like only the tiniest amount. It only looks like that because this chalk paint is so matte. But yeah, it still does look matte. So I'm gonna do that now with a roller. So I cut 2 strips of this fabric, one to go either side to close in at the middle. And then I have pressed over the edges where I need to sew the seams all the way down, trying to get it to the right size to match on either end because I don't want one to be like longer than the other. So now I'm going to just sew a straight stitch along these pressed edges that I've done. Then on this other side, I've done a slightly bigger folded bit so that I'm going to be able to thread the wire through like near the bottom, and I'm hoping that then this bit will gather up the top, create like a frill, and then we'll sort of like gather at the top and there won't be like a little gap where you can see in. That's my aim. So let's see if it works. I just thought, do you know what, I will kind of line the insides of these so they look nice. I mean, in an ideal world, I wouldn't have, like, I wasn't trying to match this with what I've got on the wall in here. That's not really what I'm about. But I was wanting to do it with like a little striped wallpaper that I've got, but then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to find like something to actually stick it on properly with, and I couldn't really be bothered, so I just got what I had that was actually just peel and stick, so I didn't have to think about that. But these were like all the offcuts that were left over from the wall, and so I didn't really have enough, so some of them are like, well, definitely not continuations of the pattern, although to be honest you can't really tell that I've stuck like lots of bits together. I mean, you can if you look at the pattern closely, but I think it's fine, it works, and it's actually just to make it nicer when you open the curtain, because you're not even going to see it with the curtain over it. So yes, I didn't have enough to do the backs, so you know, whatever. Once I'd like screwed this thing into the end, I basically just threaded it through, which is easy when you've got the little metal thing on the end. So now I'm just gonna kind of like push it together to create a sort of well, a frill on the top, and you know, rocked up. I don't know the right words. Rocked up sounds negative. Yeah, and then I'm going to attach it on here, try and thread it through this middle one, and then attach the next one. I think that's my plan, and then hook that to the other end, and I'll just like cut it and see how much of the wire I do actually need. Hello, I'm here on my floor in the living room, just trying to sort the last bit of this room makeover, which again, it's been, I don't know, maybe like 2 months since I last even looked at it. There's been a lot of like gaps in this process. It's not even like stuff is hard, it just other stuff gets in the way. So I want to tackle the blank wall next to the wallpapered wall by putting some artwork on there to make it feel less, well, yeah, it feels very, very blank now next to the, you know, the other one, the feature wall. And so I've collected some frames. If you don't know me, I just collect frames whenever I go to charity shops. If I see one that's reasonably priced and I like it, I will get it. and figure out how I can use it later on. So this one is needs the artwork replacing, but this one is going to go on the shelves because it's small and it can sit on the shelf nicely. And then I have this one, which I actually really like the artwork. I mean, I do like the frame, but I like the artwork, and I do like the mount. I'm just not sure if it's a bit too busy, if it's not quite right, or if it's just like maybe like it's a nice creamy tone, but that looks a bit wrong against the colours on the other wall. So potentially I'll keep the artwork and potentially I'll change the mount. So like I might just paint a colour that I think goes on top of it. We'll see. And then I have this, which is I've kind of taken apart because it actually had this in it before, this little cross-stitch poppy thing, which I actually quite like. Oh, sorry, it's the wrong way around. There you go. I actually quite like it. It's just not really, it's not really the vibe in there. There's not really anything else that's red, so it's a bit weird. But anyway, I painted this originally green, and then I thought it didn't really go with like the greens in the wallpaper and then the paint colour that's kind of a greeny grey. I know, I realise I sound crazy. This is just how I am with colours. I'm a bit over the top thinking about it. It's not that deep, is it? But, you know, I'm a bit of a colour perfectionist. Anyway, so I painted it a brassy colour, and then I put some darker tones in it to make it look a bit aged. And then I want to find something maybe with my fabric scraps to put inside there. And then I've also got this as a potential. This is a picture I used at Christmas actually, and I do really like the green, but again, not sure it's the right green. It's maybe a bit too green. I'm not a psycho. I'm just really particular about colours. So again, I might be able to paint that and put something different that's not festive in there. I've also got this other dark wood frame, which I also painted. I sanded it down and I did like a darker wash on it, and then I coated it, and also, hey look, another dark wood frame. This one with a slightly odd aeroplane picture in it, which I would obviously change because I don't like aeroplanes and I don't like the colours, so it's a no from me. So yeah, that's what I'm working with, and I brought down like a bundle of scraps just to see. I don't know, I was thinking like maybe I could use something like this or this, which is all leftovers from other projects, and then maybe like cut out like a flower or something to go in the middle on top. I don't know, I need to see how this looks. Or I've got, yeah, this leftover fabric, which is quite nice. I mean, it might be a bit too William Morrissey in there. I don't want it to be like a shrine to William Morris. Oh, and this as well, this is quite nice. This kind of tapestry. I mean, again, I don't really have any of these colours anywhere else in the room, but I'm just going to play around and see. I'll see. I really love this vintage wall shelf that I got, but I wanted to put some little hooks along the bottom so that I could hang some things from it. I just used these small brass hooks, but I drilled to begin with so that I could then just screw more easily into these holes. And it worked. I did mark out beforehand just with a little pen or pencil so that I could get them all evenly spaced across, but then I just carried on and finished it off using my drill and my hooks. And obviously you want to make sure that you've got hooks with the back bit being a certain length, because I didn't really want to go into the wall behind the shelf. I just wanted to go the thickness of the shelf, so it was quite tricky to find ones that were the right depth, if that's the right word. I thought I would cut up some strips of the colour charts that I have for all the different paints that I use on a regular basis, just to add something visual to hang to the bottom and make it easier to see these swatches. And I just simply put a hole punch hole in the top of each of the strips, and then I threaded them all onto one of these gold keyring chain things. I don't know what you call them. I'm sure there's a proper name. But yeah, I just threaded them all on, and then they could just sit as a little colour chart that I could pull apart and easily see, and just hang them on the hooks. And then I added some scissors. I faffed around a bit with these, moving everything along, just because, you know, that's what I like doing. And then I tied a little ribbon with some dried flowers on the bottom. And then it was time to put my desk back together, put back this vintage letter holder, which I've been using to store all my notepads and more colour swatches and things. I stepped back and just felt like the windows needed something doing to them, because they were this big blank expansive space and it just didn't sit right with all the vintage details of this corner. So I decided to use my mold proof tape to create window panes like I did in the dining room downstairs, and I just measured and marked where I needed to put the lines of tape to make sure they were all even, and then I used a ruler to attach the tape to keep it straight and not going wonky. But also a big tip is to not stretch the tape, because otherwise it starts to warp. Then once I was done, I put the outer section with the blinds back on the windows and I was done. Just adding some finishing touches to the space before I'm finished. And this I've also had for ages. It's a second-hand, I guess, letter holder, but I'm using it just to store like little paint samples and like notebook and random paintbrushes. It's my charging pack. So yeah, I'm really glad that I get to like fully use that now. And then this, which was from over a year ago, it was a bargain from a charity shop. I think it was £4, which is amazing. And I've been looking for one like it, and particularly because this corner is just so dark. Like the light in this room, I don't know why, maybe it's the bulb, it's just like really not very bright. It might be because, I don't know, is it because this lampshade is covering the actual bulb? I don't know, maybe it is. We got this like really early on, this kind of origami lampshade thing, so I really like it. But yeah, this is just really helpful, because I was going to put like a little wall light here, but then I found this and I was like, yeah, this is great. And I've linked up to the plugs underneath. Look at that. Nice and bright in this little corner. So that was the makeover. Let me know what you think. Maybe I've inspired you to use peel and stick wallpaper. Let me know in the comments if you have used it or if you're really wanting to use it. As I said, I think that wallpaper was really good quality peel and stick. It felt really thick and had a lovely texture to it. And hearing from other people, I know that there's a varying spectrum when it comes to the quality of peel and stick wallpaper. Ironically, I about 5 months ago started designing some of my own wallpaper because I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm actually trained in print and pattern design. That was my degree. So I spent a lot of time doing repeat patterns and stuff, and actually my final show involved some wallpaper. So I just thought, yeah, I wanna do that again. So I have all of these designs, these repeats made up, and I even got samples because I wanted to make them into, well, normal wallpaper, but my main thing was I wanted to do some peel and stick wallpaper, and I do still want to, like, that's what I aim to do. I've just got to sort out all of the moving parts and a new website so that I can sell them and whatnot. But anyway, I feel like there is a limited amount of options for peel and stick designs in the UK. I think it's a bit different in the States, and as I said, I ordered from Spoonflower this wallpaper, and because it was coming from the States I had to pay the customs fee, which was not ideal. I thought I got a bargain, but it wasn't so much of a bargain in the end. But I feel like there are more and more peel and stick options out there, but a lot of them are really graphic patterns and quite trend-led designs, and I want just to have more that are kind of more classic florals and, I don't know, things that are a bit more timeless. Yeah, I think that there's a bit of a gap in the market. So watch this space, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to start using my own designs in my home. That would be ideal. But anyway, yeah, I feel like the wallpaper can make such a big difference to a space and just give it loads of impact. So I was really pleased with that. And yeah, really there weren't like huge changes going on, but hopefully in a kind of simple and attainable way, I've shown you how you can kind of transform something that was just very plain and white and boring and make it a little bit more interesting and add some vintage touches to it, which is what I love doing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and any experiences you've had with peel and stick wallpaper. That would be great. I'm yet to see how it comes down, obviously, but I did have to take it off and put bits back on again just to when I was lining it up, and it seemed to be fine. So we will see. If you are in the UK and you do have any like good suggestions for peel and stick wallpaper, let me know. That would be really handy. So with all that said, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like, that would be great. And if you like this content that I'm creating, if you've enjoyed my other videos, then please do consider subscribing because it makes a difference to my humble little channel, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you want to comment with any ideas that you would like to see in my videos, that would always be great, because I mean, really, you're the ones that are watching it, so that's always helpful to know. And if you'd like to follow me in kind of more of a day-to-day sense and maybe behind the scenes of some of the projects that do end up on YouTube, then do follow me on Instagram at The Lovely Drawer. That's what I am everywhere. I like to keep it simple. And I will see you next time, which probably won't be a makeover video. It will be something else. So I'll keep you hanging, but I'll see you then. Bye.